You know, when a disaster like an earthquake hits, the headlines are always full of numbers. But behind every single one of those numbers are real human stories. Stories of unimaginable loss, but also of incredible resilience. Today, we're going to go beyond the headlines of the recent earthquake in the Philippines to really understand the tragedy, the science behind it, and the absolutely unbreakable spirit of the people who lived through it. And we're going to start with the words of one man, Isagani Jolig. His search for his wife and his little 4-year-old son in the minutes and hours right after the quake, well, it just captures the very heart of this entire disaster. To really get a grasp on the sheer scale of what happened, we need to zoom in. Let's start with just one single, deeply personal story of loss that unfolded in the city of Bogo. So Isagani's wife worked as a receptionist at the Condor Pension House, and their son, little John, was with her when the earthquake struck. Isagani tried calling their phones over and over, frantically, but there was just nothing, no answer. He rushed to the collapsed hotel and searched right alongside the rescuers, just calling out their names into the ruins. And eventually, they were found, pinned together in the rubble. This one single heartbreaking moment for this family was tragically just one of many that defined those first few hours after the quake. Isagani's story is it's a devastating personal tragedy. But to really understand the full scope of this disaster, you have to pull back and look at the staggering numbers. So, how big was this thing? The earthquake registered a powerful 6.9 on the magnitude scale. Now, for some context, anything over a 6.0 is considered a major quake, capable of causing some really severe damage. And this tremor just violently shook the central Philippines, all happening late at night. In the immediate aftermath, the human cost became clearer, and it became clear fast. The death toll shot up to at least 72 people, as rescue teams began that grim, awful work of sifting through one collapsed building after another. And for every single life that was lost, so many more were changed forever. Nearly 300 people were reported injured, which, as you can imagine, put this immense pressure on local hospitals and on all the emergency services. But the impact just radiated out even further. Get this. Over 170,000 people were directly affected. Now, what does affected even mean? It means their homes were damaged or just completely destroyed. It means their jobs were disrupted. And it means so many were left traumatized, terrified to even go back inside because of the constant rolling aftershocks. The physical damage was just immense. I mean, the quake basically crippled critical infrastructure. We're talking nearly 600 homes ruined, key bridges and roads just wrecked. It even caused the main seaport in Bogo to completely collapse, which cut off a vital lifeline for aid and for commerce. These numbers are they're devastating. But they lead us to a really crucial question. Why? Why is this region so vulnerable to these powerful earthquakes? Well, the answer lies in the geology. The answer isn't on the surface. It's deep beneath the ocean floor, and it has everything to do with where the Philippines happens to be on the map, a unique and pretty precarious location. The Philippines sits directly on what's known as the Pacific Ring of Fire. You've probably heard of it. It's this massive, horseshoe-shaped arc of seismic faults that wraps around the Pacific Ocean. It's basically where giant tectonic plates are constantly crashing and grinding into each other. It's no wonder most of the world's earthquakes happen right here. But here's the kicker. What made this particular event so unpredictable was its source. Seismologists figured out that the specific undersea fault line that ruptured had been dormant, totally quiet, for at least 4 centuries. It's just a stark reminder that even a fault that's been sleeping for hundreds of years can suddenly, violently wake up. And as if these devastating earthquakes weren't enough, that's only part of the story. The reality for the Philippines is a constant year-round battle with all kinds of natural calamities. I mean, think about it. The country is in this unique position where it faces these huge dual threats. You've got the constant seismic risk from below the ground, and then from the sky, you've got an average of 20 typhoons and tropical storms that batter the islands every single year. And this isn't just a statistic. For so many people, it's a lived memory. This earthquake was a traumatic echo of past disasters. A lot of people there remembered Typhoon Haiyan back in 2013, one of the strongest storms ever recorded, which literally flattened entire towns in this exact same region. And yet, and this is what's truly remarkable, amidst all of that devastation, you always hear these incredible stories. Stories of sacrifice, of survival, and of just sheer human resilience. Take these words, spoken about a man named Ian Ho, a 49-year-old Red Cross volunteer. Rescuers found him in the ruins of his collapsed home. He was embracing his 14-year-old son. Ian, the father, died, but his son, who was shielded by his father's body, survived. Then there's the story of Brian Sinangankade. In this earthquake, he was just watching a basketball game when the whole gym's ceiling came crashing down, and he survived. Just like he survived Typhoon Haiyan years earlier, a storm that completely destroyed his house. For people like Brian, enduring these calamities is just a tragic, recurring part of life. And after everything he's been through, his words really hit you. We just have to be prepared for anything. It's this profound, hard-earned lesson for a nation that has to constantly find the strength to rebuild again and again. It's a mindset that's really just born from pure necessity. And that really is the question that's left hanging in the air, isn't it? How do communities possibly endure when disaster isn't just a random event, but a way of life? It's a question that highlights the immense challenges these people face. But more than that, it showcases the incredible, truly unbreakable strength of the human spirit.